Welcome, 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 everyone. This is Tracy Wagner with Versatile Inspirations, and today we're going to be discussing the benefits of mindfulness. Now, you've probably heard of mindfulness, and I'm just going to go over a couple of things that may help you understand it a little bit better. So let me screen share and we'll get started. All right, wonderful. Again, today we're going to be discussing the benefits of mindfulness. So, what is mindfulness? So, the dictionary says that there are two prominent definitions for mindfulness. First is the state or quality of being mindful or aware of something. And the best one that I read was a technique in which one focuses one's full attention only on the present, experiencing thoughts, feelings, and sensations, but not judging them. And I think that's a big one. A lot of times we're so used to judging things, especially ourselves, that we kind of displace that feeling of mindfulness. We can be more present when there's no judgment. And it's hard. I totally understand how hard it is to not judge, especially if you're anywhere near a mirror where you can see yourself, if you're getting ready for work or you're getting ready to go out. There's a lot of times a judgment that is applied to that particular present moment, and the mindfulness or the acceptance of it all kind of goes by the wayside. So we'll try and figure out some ways in which we can let go of that judgment and just allow the mindfulness to be present. So there are other words that kind of describe mindfulness. So that would be the thesaurus that I looked up. And in one, it was regard, concentration, alertness, forethought, conscientiousness, prudence, thought, and vigilance, and being observant. So these are some other terms for mindfulness. But truly, it's about living in the moment. Live this moment. Feel things, sense things, see things, physically touch and feel things. All of these things we do, but a lot of times we're not mindful of what we're doing. Sometimes we're placing judgment. Sometimes we're just going on autopilot and we're just not really experiencing that present moment. There's so many wondrous, beautiful, magical, inspirational moments that we may have already gone through that maybe we just didn't realize at the time how truly fabulous it was. And when we're mindful, then we're able to experience it full force, and we'll be able to live more of our dreams and wishes and desires right now. How can you experience mindfulness? And remember that mindfulness is just a present thought without judgment, being able to feel and experience these moments as if you could just capture it with a camera if you could, and just relive those moments. Those are the times when you're present and experiencing life without judgment, but in complete joy or harmony. Then you're able to really take those moments and just be able to keep them as a special time. A lot of times what we don't even realize is internally we are very balanced at those times. Our yin and yang, our male and female, our masculine and feminine energies are aligning, they're balancing, they're being aware. Both sides of the brain are working and we're experiencing, we're just being mindful and present at the moment. So we can experience mindfulness in lots of different ways. Some of the easiest ways would be just closing your eyes. Just close your eyes and be still. Sometimes music helps. Sometimes just listening to nature helps. Maybe you can sit by a bubbling brook and you can just listen to that bubbling sound. Sometimes if your cat is laying on your lap, just that purring that they make will put you into a state that you'll be able to experience that mindfulness. You'll be able to just close your eyes and just feel and experience that time with no judgment. Just breathing. I don't remember where I heard it from, but I remember listening to someone talk about how we don't breathe correctly anymore. We're so busy doing that we don't focus enough on our breath. And when we do focus on our breath, we can open up so much. It is amazing. The mindfulness, the presence, and just the overall blending with our environment that we can experience non-judgment wise, but just allowing. When we breathe, when we sit up straight and we deep breathe down into our belly, we're breathing correctly. Those lower those lower lungs and that area really needs to expand. It cleanses out that area and you actually feel better. You can feel and be more present if you just breathe. Taking a nice deep breath, even holding it for a second, and then letting it go. You'll feel how much more open that belly and that whole abdomen area will just release, and you'll feel better. Maybe the fog that maybe your brain was in a little bit of a fog, but you'll be surprised at how much clearer you're thinking after about 3 breaths like that. It is truly remarkable. Hyper aware, and it sounds kind of negative, but it's not. Being hyper aware, what I mean by that is just being aware of your surroundings. Where are you? What are you experiencing at this moment? Whether you realize it or not, your body is receiving tons of electrical impulses. Your body is receiving a lot of information, whether you're seeing it or feeling it or hearing it. Your body is experiencing a lot at one time, and being hyper aware, you'll be surprised at how much you can hear if you close your eyes, if you just breathe and you just allow those sensations to just kind of come to you. It's just amazing how much mindfulness plays a part in us actually not being judgmental, how mindfulness actually allows us to open up and just allow those things to come to us. Messages from spirit, messages from the earth, messages from the animals, being present and non-judgmental. It's amazing how we're able to focus more. You'll notice that if you use mindfulness. Peace within. Now, when I say peace within, what I'm saying is that we need to allow within ourselves the ability to be peaceful, to be at peace, to be still, and just allow. And by doing that, we're actually opening ourself. We're opening up our energetic body also, and we're just allowing. When we have peace within, it's interesting, and we allow that to just kind of emanate from us. There's peace outside of ourself. And by doing the mindfulness or by actively pursuing mindfulness, you'll start to see how the peace within that you experience during that time actually radiates to the outside environment around you. So things that may seem chaotic because you walk into a room or because you're in the area and you're going into that mindfulness state, peace will be on the outside of you as well. That chaos will just cease to exist, because love and peace are higher vibrations. Notice the little things. And this is just kind of what happens. Once you can do all of those other things, you'll start to notice teensy things. You'll start to be, and it's kind of like being hyper aware. You'll start to hear things. You'll start to hear maybe the refrigerator going. And that's at that time when you're very mindful and you're at peace within, and you can just hear those things. You might hear your cat actually padding across the floor. You may hear it start to rain, just the drip, drip, drip outside, those little tinkles of rain. You may start to hear those. You may start to hear leaves rustling in the wind. And it's just an amazing experience being able to notice those little things that make life magical. What are the benefits of doing these things? There are numerous benefits, but there were 3 that I really feel you can take away right now and you can start to experience just by doing mindfulness. It reduces stress and anxiety. I have had anxiety for like ever, as far as I can remember. And it stems from how I grew up. But I had an anxiety of, I think it's called white coat anxiety or white coat stress. When I would go in, even to visit my my doctor, who's a nurse practitioner, not even a doctor, I would feel anxious. My blood pressure would rise, and every time they would take my vitals, they'd be like, you should calm down a little bit. But once I explained what the problem was, they understood. But now I can go in, and by closing my eyes, taking a few deep breaths, it's actually amazing how much my blood pressure and my vitals normalize, even though I'm physically still a little anxious. Just performing the mindfulness, I call them rituals, but the mindfulness practices, you'll be able to feel better right away. I mean, right away. Balance. Now, we're not talking just balance outside of ourselves, like walking and being balanced, but we're talking within. Our chakras become balanced. Our auric field becomes balanced. All the energies within us, the masculine and feminine, the male and female, the yin and yang energies become balanced. Our right brain and left brain are able to become in balance as well. So you'll notice the clear thinking, the clear actions create that balance within, and you'll feel it right away. And that's what you want to feel all the time, right? Is you want to feel balanced. And with grounding properly, a complete grounding, and with just performing those mindfulness practices, you will feel so much better. You'll feel open, you'll feel peaceful, and you'll feel very balanced. And the last thing is you're going to feel like you are more aware. Now, it's a good thing to be aware of our outside circumstances, but we're going to be aware of things that maybe we haven't been aware of before. Maybe we're able to hear more from spirit. Maybe we're able to dive deeper into our intuition and allow that, our gut feelings, our intuition, to guide us a little more. And this is actually a good thing because it helps. Your intuition knows when things are good for you or not so good for you. And when we're able to really tap into that intuition and be aware of those circumstances, you're going to save yourself so much heartache and stress. just by being aware. You're going to realize that you are a unique component to the world at large. You're going to be more aware of your place here on earth this time. You came here for a reason, and you're going to be more aware of what that reason is just by being mindful. It's an amazing practice to just be mindful. It's a little difficult, I realize, because of those judgments, but it is amazing. So let me stop the screen share here. Wonderful. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I so appreciate it. And even if you're able to just close your eyes for a few seconds, take a couple of deep breaths, I know that mindfulness will be a wonderful practice for you to continue on to relieve your stress and anxiety, to balance both inside and out, and to be aware of not only your circumstances in your outer world, but inside your yin and yang, your masculine and feminine, and your male and female energies will be more balanced and aligned, and you'll feel better. Also, your intuition will kick in, and you'll start receiving messages from spirit pretty easily. Thanks again. Take care. And as always, I'm sending you and yours love, light, and eternal blessings. Take care.